space. I need some time to feel free and enjoy.
What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new YouTube video for the channel today. I hope you guys are all having such an amazing week. I know I am. Today is a start of a new series, that I've been wanting to start for a little while to increase videos on the channel and obviously to give you guys fresh content and all that good stuff, and hopefully keep the standards to such a high level. This is going to be 6 things we learnt from Chelsea vs Arsenal. I think there were so many positives from last night that we can take forward into the next games and into the rest of the season. That they're evident that we have improved in many respects as to being able to get the draw. I know you're probably thinking, yeah, you only got a draw, you didn't win, so it's not a massive positive, but it is if you deep it. If you deep it, like, you pre it and go into it just a little bit further. It's one of them ones where, a couple of years back, Arsenal would have gone 1-0 down. I mean, going 1-0 down and losing a man in that same instance wasn't ideal at all. It was, it's just, I mean, whether, I know a lot of people are spouting off rumours that there are, there is a rule, that the double punishment rule that I think the FA have brought in or something like that. If you get sent off, it can't be a penalty or some rubbish like that. I don't know. Obviously it wasn't evident that is a rule, but I mean, there were men that were saying on Twitter last night, saying, if someone gets sent off and it's a penalty straight away, that constitutes double punishment. But obviously it was clearly not. Whether there's a new rule, whether there ain't a rule. The main thing is that Arsenal showed such grit, determination, character, and all of the above. Everything that we've been lacking. Whether you could put that down to Arteta's input, I don't know as of right now, because it's still early days. And I think the point number one is, as I mentioned, the grit, determination, the character that they showed in the game and throughout the game. They never gave up and was able to get the result. Still, I mean, it's again not a result that we probably would have wanted going into the game. It was something that we needed to get something from. It was a game that we needed to get either a point or 3 points from. I think going into it, not many people thought we were going to get 3 points. I think we were all hoping with our heads more than, and as a classic, sort of football fans, it's easy done, because we will, no doubt we'll be in the same position going forward throughout the season. But it's because of the whole Sheffield United game, and then going into this game also, it was just made 10 times more important, because obviously results that have gone by in the past. But point number 2, I think there's been, point number 2 is going to be down to the manager. I think there's it's solely down to him that he made a couple of good decisions, that obviously resting Maitland-Niles, bringing Bellerin back, and obviously Bellerin subsequently coming in and scoring the equaliser 3 minutes before they made it 2-1. 3 minutes after they made it 2-1. That was a massive plus, because obviously we all know just the talent that Bellerin possesses, and it was plain to see that he's somewhat getting back to the player that we all want him to be. I think that's, the people that are writing him off saying he doesn't look as quick, or he looks too skinny, or whatever, for whatever reason you think that's your business. It's not really, because at the end of the day, what he chooses to eat and how he chooses to sort of live his life, that's just solely down to him. But point number 2, I think that was a massive positive. Arteta showing a little bit of, I wouldn't say balls, but a little bit of just how to say it, almost know-how, a tactical awareness that we could put it down to, in bringing Bellerin back and resting Maitland-Niles, because obviously Bellerin's been impressed in training, for one would imagine, for him to be brought back into the side, and I think that just showed the faith that Arteta has in Bellerin, that he brought him back in for such a crunch game, and he repaid the boss by getting the equaliser, and I think that was amazing. Point kind of going on to like point number 3. I mean, not jumping straight on from it, but it's just amazing because, as I have said over the last couple of weeks, it's exciting to be an Arsenal fan right now, even though results haven't really gone our way or gone, and certain players are not playing as good as we expect them, or as good as some people expect them. Not, it's at the end of the day, the players are not playing bad for a reason. It's sometimes if if they have a bad game, I don't mess around with. I don't fuck with the people that dig them out off the games and say, oh, he shouldn't be playing, or he should, whatever. That's not my style of, I may say a few things here and there, but I never go so far to abuse the person directly or abuse the person in terms of singling one player out. But that's neither here nor there. Then next point I think would be from watching the game last night. We played a really, really good Chelsea side. I looked at their formation and looked at their form going into it. Looked at their the team sheet yesterday, and probably not on my own here. I looked at it and I was quite scared. I was not scared in such, but just kind of cautious more so. Maybe that would be a better word, cautious, because I mean their front three had just pace all about them, and I think point number 4 has got to go down to point number 4 has got to be Gabriel Martinelli. He's I'm running out of superlatives to describe the bloke. The young teenager, the young kid from Brazil. He's blowing the Premier League up. He's being compared to like a Mason Greenwood. Don't see the comparison myself because one is just streets ahead of the other, and if you know who I'm talking about being streets ahead of the other, I don't need to tell you. But yesterday just encapsulated just how invaluable he is to us, and just how important he is to us going forward as a team, to be able to keep that momentum. And if we are without Aubameyang for the next now 2 games, then I've got full faith in Martinelli, but also in Arteta to obviously keep that momentum going, and the boys to keep the momentum going, because it's going to be key in terms of going forward throughout the season. I mean, we've got our next game, which will be previewed on the channel just at the same time as this, will be live. We've got Bournemouth away in the FA Cup. I know it's going to sound weird, but where we are in the season, I wouldn't actually mind coming out of the FA Cup. I know it's you should always want to go on a cup run, and you should always want to do what's best for your team, and obviously you should always want what's best for your team. But I wouldn't mind coming out of the cup run, coming out of the cup, and just having the Premier League and the Europa League to focus on, because I think the less we have to focus on, the better the results we will get. I know you're probably thinking, well, these guys are professionals and they should be able to focus on different competitions and whatever. But when the squad is so stretched as ours, that's probably point number 5. Without going sort of too in and out, point number 5, I think we had found out just how far stretched the squad has got. We, at the start of the season, I was talking to my dad, a few other Arsenal fans here and there, just on Instagram or Twitter and whatever, and we were looking at the squad and thinking, this squad isn't all that bad, and we're now just about halfway through the season, or just over half, and it's it's looking quite stretched. So with that Chelsea game yesterday, it was important that we played well, and as like I said, they never gave up. The Arteta kind of philosophy, it's slowly filtering through. He's slowly changing things in terms of his philosophy is slowly getting through to him, and the way he wants them to play. But number 5 has definitely got to be, as I say, how far what we learned is Arsenal's squad is getting really, really stretched, and I think January transfer windows, nothing really massively happens. But if we could get in, even I know he's 33, but even if we could get in Jerome Boateng, he would come in and he would do a job at the back. I think he can't be any worse than what we've got currently. And without ending it on a negative, I think number 6 has got to be, because obviously the defensive issues that happened yesterday, our defence will always cause us issues, and I don't think that's obviously, we didn't learn anything in terms of that, but I think I'm going to make it number 6 because it's part of an ever-growing problem at Arsenal, and I think it's one where maybe 2 windows will solve it, or even 3. I think it's gonna take a long time, you know, and I think, you know, without being kind of not too on the fence, or without being too sort of even stating the obvious. I know it's one extreme to the other, but it's gonna take a long time, and I think the way Arsenal are going about it, they're going about it in all the right ways, and I think, like I mentioned before, if we can get Jerome Boateng in before the January window closes, it's probably not anyone's ideal signing. I know we've been linked with Layvin Kurzawa, and I think if that can happen in the summer as well, I think that would be really, really good, because we've seen again at left back just how stretched, when both Kolasinac and Tierney are both injured, we've got to rely upon a left winger to play left back. That's, for a club like Arsenal, that ain't good enough, and I think, you know, bringing in an experienced left back wouldn't be a bad idea, wouldn't be a bad shot at all. Certainly, I wouldn't be bang against it. I wouldn't, you know, I just ultimately want what's best for Arsenal, but as I say, Arsenal are the star, the club move forward, we move on, and we tackle our next game. Let me know down in the comments below if you have enjoyed the video. Slap a like on the video. If you didn't know, I've basically, I'm in the process of launching a vlog channel, so I will, once I make the information and channel art and everything like that, I'll link that in the description down below. And yeah, if you didn't like the video for whatever reason, leave a dislike, let me know why in the comments down below. You boys out here, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Peace, love, and deuces.